The Sound Lab, 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 the Sound Lab. Experimenting with the best new music.
Oshi from Beartooth, how are you?
Great, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. You're here on a UK tour, kicking it off. How's it been for you so far, and looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's been great. We've done a few shows in Europe, and we're just getting started on UK today, and we're pretty stoked to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you got Amity Affliction and Higher Power on the tour with you.
Yeah.
Like those guys, and why pick them for this tour?
Well, Amity actually took us out in Australia, and that was a really pleasant experience overall. Awesome shows, awesome dudes, and we just wanted to kind of have a band that was just like we knew was like super sick, and added some excitement to the tour. You know what I mean? So definitely a goal for this tour was to make a lineup that people would be super stoked about. So we're excited about it. Higher Power is obviously super awesome too, and all the shows have sold out. So I guess everyone's excited about the bill themselves. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the reason you're doing this tour is because you released a new album a couple of years ago, but you've released a deluxe version of it since.
Right.
Tell us about the record.
Yeah, it's so crazy because it seems so long ago that we were working on the record, but and it seems like we had to put off doing a headliner in Europe and UK for such a long time because we had other obligations keep popping up that we had to do. And then we were like a little worried. We were like, "Oh, we're waiting too long to go. We're waiting too long to go." And like I said, the shows have all sold out, and we're just completely mind blown about that. But overall, I think that it speaks to the record as far as I think people like it. At least it seems that way from our perspective. So. We couldn't be happier, man. It's just been such a great record cycle, and this is the last tour on it.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a little break and work on some new stuff after this, but we're just completely blown away with the response and how everything's turned out, and it's just been great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you've released a deluxe version of it as well. Released a couple of extra bits on there. What was the reason behind doing the deluxe version of it rather than something different, like maybe an EP or something like that?
We always like to do a deluxe version, especially because we're like big fans of vinyl. So we like to do that extra new packaging and then throw some extra tracks on there, just for like the people who are into collecting stuff like that. Because I personally kind of am. So I'm actually really stoked about like the album art, like because it's kind of inverted. It's like black with like orange instead of orange with black. So and then it's kind of like reflective. So it's super cool packaging that I'm stoked about. And yeah, just throw a couple new songs on there that didn't make the cut of the actual record, but a couple tracks that we still really liked and wanted people to hear. So yeah, it's kind of worked out that way.
Excellent. And you've touched on that you're writing or planning to write for the next record.
Right.
Where are you at the moment? Have you started? Have you got ideas floating around?
Yeah, so for those people who don't know, Caleb, our singer, is the main songwriter of the band. He's got a road rig set up, and he has for the past couple tours. So he's never really written on the road for Beartooth before, but he has been like super in the zone with it. Something about the environment, he's just like really been enjoying and getting a lot of inspiration from being out here. Especially I think he said from, playing the live shows and seeing what people react to in real time and being able to kind of translate that to like what he's writing. So for the most part, it's like a lot of instrumental stuff, but like it's a lot of like working on guitar tones and riffs and stuff like that, to try to like just push the band forward in a direction that like not a lot of the bands are going. So I'm stoked on it. It's sounding super sick. So yeah, I can't wait to really dive into it like after the tour and like get all the songs kind of like dialed in and stuff. And I think people are going to be stoked because it's dope.
Yeah. Do you know how it's going to plan out? Do you think it's going to be a bit heavier or a bit more melodic, or how do you think it's going to be at the moment? Any ideas?
It's going to be, like kind of a typical Beartooth fashion because, we have like, the parts that are heavy and the parts that are extremely melodic. And I think what Caleb's good at is blending those two things seamlessly without it feeling like bipolar. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be that in the band, but I think overall what I've noticed is the riffs are, and the guitar tones are just sounding like, I'm like, oh, I've never heard that before from this band or any other band. So that's what's gotten me the most excited. So I think when people hear it, they're gonna, be pleasantly surprised. So
good, yeah. So writing and Caleb writes the track, brings it to you. What input do you and the other guys have on developing that into a Beartooth track?
I don't want to speak for Caleb, but I think he, we have to play the songs for 2 years after they're written. So I think he values our opinion and, wants to make sure that we're stoked on it, because he knows if we're stoked on it, then, people who like our band, because I think internally we are fans of our own band. As far as I go, I'll speak for myself and say that. So, it's like Caleb knows, like, for example, if I'm excited, he thinks, people are going to be excited about it. So I can agree there.
Good. Touring. You're in the UK at the moment. You've got a few dates left, and then you're off to Europe. Looking forward to those dates as well. We got a few more dates in Europe, Germany, Amsterdam, and Belgium. And it's like, once this is over, we're pretty much just chilling for a bit. We don't have too much planned, but we are actually kind of planning some stuff far in advance for the next record. So, not things I can talk about, but expect some cool shit. Yeah, absolutely. And you've got a couple of dates, festival dates in America booked in already. What other are you planning a few extra festival dates, or is it just going to be a quiet summer for you?
Honestly, it's going to be pretty quiet over the summer, and we're not going to be kind of kicking off until the fall, really. I know we've got some shows here and there in between, but not really much. But I think we're going to be kind of kicking into full gear, like, around the fall. So, yeah.
Is there anywhere that you haven't played before that you do want to go to at some point in the future?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, like, South America is probably my number one. We haven't been down there yet. Mm-hmm. And then, Russia, we haven't been out there yet either. So either of those, I would love to see happen on the next record cycle. This cycle flew by so fast, and it seems like we've been busy the whole time, and we didn't have time to fit those in for this one. So, I know it'll happen eventually, but, it's just planning and things like that, because we love coming back here a lot. And we love going to Australia a lot. And obviously we hit the States quite a bit. So, we're busy boys, but, hopefully we'll branch out a bit more.
Amazing. Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having
a chat with you,
man.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
The Sound Lab, 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 the Sound Lab. Experimenting with the best new music.